Bob, how do you feel about people who claim that they're psychics?
That's a good question. I think psychics are well-meaning, and to a limited and to a certain sense of the word, qualified sense of the word, there is something there. If we think of psychics, as I explained about the idea of deja vu coming to us from conceptual counterparts that have always, without end, existed in their permanent stations, if we think about possibly a transmission of an impression from there to Earth, there may be something to be said of psychics or deja vu in that framework, in that context, so to speak. However, in terms of being able to specifically bring forth various things specifically, answering questions, what have you, the reality dictum or Holy Spirit in eternal, since everything is happening here, is a rewind, so to speak, of what has happened in non-material, perpetual happening before. So the Holy Spirit, or God the Father, the reality dictum of the Holy Spirit, would allow certain things in infinitum to happen here, and in infinitum he would not allow certain things to have happened here. Future perfect tense. So what we have here, in this sense of the word, if a person goes to a psychic for advice or what have you, or whatever they are able to do, in eternal existence has been negated by the Holy Spirit, simply because he would not allow specifics. Like, who murdered this person? Go to a psychic and find out who murdered the person. What happened to that flight over Malaysia? Whatever. God has not allowed man in perpetuity to answer those things here on this earth, even though we may have a type of transference, or you might say a feeling or an impression from our conceptual counterparts. Now, example, before Houdini died, the magician Houdini died, he made the comment before Houdini died that if there's any way, he was the great escape artist. Houdini said, if there's any way for me to come back, I will find it. That was his last statement. If there's any way to come back after death, I will find it. Houdini never appeared. Now, people, for decades after that, for years after that, people went to psychics and trying to get somehow or another the impression to come that Houdini would speak to them in some form or fashion. It simply does not happen. It cannot happen. Because again, what has already, up in the conceptual counterpart, the package, so to speak, complete in heaven, was dictated certain things, and one of them is for us not to know the various areas of happening.